What's up, everyone? You are listening to Beyond the Ring podcast. I am Thejas, and welcome to Monday Night Wars review, guys. Today, we are going to review the WWF Raw and WCW Nitro show of 23rd June 1997. If you guys have checked out this show before and if you have any memories, please do have in the comment section below. And last week, we did the 16th June 1997 show. I hope you liked it, guys. It was a little bit long of my liking, I would say, but I will try to have just cut off too much because I don't want to make it too much long actually. So before we get into this episode, guys, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and for all things wrestling past and present, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. So let's begin with the Raw show. Raw show began with the Nation of Domination, the new joinee Ahmed Johnson, who actually was joined in Nation of Domination, and he actually turned on Undertaker last week. We had that closing, so he was kind of explaining why he actually joined, and he says that he wants to develop and he's a black man, that's why he didn't got the achievements, and also he wants to join a faction or a team which gives him a platform to develop. So that's why it was a pretty basic, you can say, but it was a good nice way, you can say, good nice way to begin with the story that actually closed the show last week. Ken Shamrock versus Rockabilly, first match. Ken Shamrock had a short work on Rockabilly, that match, and then we had Legion of Doom versus the Godwin, average match, average tag match. It was also short, and they actually Legion of Doom actually had the quick work on Godwin's. This was the WWF Tag Team Championship Tournament quarterfinals. The problem was not the tournament that was problem. The problem was it was out of nowhere because Steve Austin and Shawn Michaels, they had their tag team championship, so they were going great story. I mean, they were having problems with having the team, but when they want to, and they would join, and that was a great interesting you can say chemistry and joining, you can say, but it didn't do well because of the Hart Michael situation. So then we had the Hitman Hearns, who was a boxer legend, and Bret Hart kind of starts ripping him off, and he comes up and then he takes out Jim Neidhart. So that was a segment. It was a cool segment, I would say. It was fun while it lasted. Then we had Flash Funk versus Sabu, the only, you can say, pretty good match in this show, which was great to see actually. Sabu wrestling in kind of a hardcore environment, especially the table spot it had. And Flash Funk is so much ahead of its yes, man. He had so much of talent, but he didn't go anywhere at that time because that was just a beginning of the you can say high flyer wrestlers. It wasn't that very in that like nowadays. So that was it, but pretty good match, 4 minutes match, you can say, pretty good match. Next we go to WWF European Champion, Davey Boy Smith versus Mankind. Mankind got the victory here. Not, I mean, it was a decent match. Mankind was there, so that's why kind of I was always intrigued to see Mankind. So his persona, and also that was the only fun thing, you can say. We saw a mandible claw. But this match ended in a DQ. After that, he put on the mandible claw and Davey Boy Smith. So that was it. And then we had going to our number two. Our number one was really average again, like last week. WWF Intercontinental Champion Owen Hart, Goldust, Hunter Hearst Helmsley triple threat match. This was the whole match that was being actually advertised and just hyped up for the show. This match was okay match. It wasn't a good triple threat match, you can say. And first it got to a DQ situation where Owen Hart's foot was on the rope, and Pat Patterson, the first ever IC champion, was the guest referee, so he didn't saw it. Kuala Monsoon comes up and he just restarts the match, and then we got um, Owen Hart actually retaining the championship. So it was a good, nice way. I mean, it's obvious way if you see, because they were building for the 10-man tag, so they want to have Owen Hart win, kind of a credible looking contender, surpassing Goldust and Hunter Helmsley. So it didn't had any kind of chemistry, you can say, but it was just there for me. And next we had Brian Christopher versus Scott Taylor. nothing to say, too short to be anything. Yeah, next we go to the main event finally, Vader and Undertaker versus Farouk and D'Lo Brown. So Vader and Undertaker, they had the heated rivalry before, so kind of can they actually team up kind of story, you can say. And it was not. Undertaker attacks Vader, I mean he punched Vader, and Vader got punched by Farouk, and kind of a cheap finish, and just with a, yeah, nothing to, I mean it was short as well, and it wasn't interesting. It was an average main event. And yeah, post match we saw Paul Bearer actually threatening Undertaker that he will reveal secrets to the world next week. So that was only the intriguing part, you can say. They closed off the show kind of well, you can say, but the whole show was pretty missable, average show. Next we get to WCW Nitro, guys, which was a really good show, and which was kind of way much ahead than Raw this week. I would say that we kick it off with our number one, where Diamond Dallas Page kicks off the show, and he comes up and he says that he's going to face DDP Scott Hall tonight. So that was the match that we were having. Here it is. Then we got a great main event, and what we have seen in Raw, man. But next we had first match, we had Lapaka and Damien versus Public Enemy. Public Enemy has been missing, so they are kind of coming back again. So decent match, I would say. It was short as well, so nothing to say. It was, yeah, okay, decent match. Next we get to Alex Wright versus Chris Jericho, the rematch from last week. And before that we got a Eddie Guerrero interview of sorts, you can say, Gina Cullen. And Eddie Guerrero says that he's going to give the chance of his cruiserweight title match that was being confirmed to his nephew Chavo Guerrero Jr. And Eddie is a kind of changing his character a bit. His kind of bit of a heelish kind of a heelish term, you can say. He's showing that kind of characteristics, so that was the change for him. So pretty interesting. He was really serious at that time. Yeah. Next we get Alex Wright versus Chris Jericho. It was also an okay match, you can say. Yeah. It wasn't a better match than last week. Last week was better. In this match we saw uh, Chris Jericho getting the victory here. And yeah, just you can say just a nice TV match to say about. Rick and Scott Steiner versus Harlem Heat was the next match. Steiner brothers got the victory here. A really good tag team match. This was very good, I would say. I really loved this match. Fans were really behind the Steiner brothers. And yeah, and Steiner brothers are going up against the World Tag Team Championship, I guess. So yeah, it was a really good the show. The match of the show, you can say. And then we had Hector Garza versus Villano 4, Mexican guys match. So we know what we can expect from this flip flops kind of with no meaning. So it was fun while it lasted, you can say. We go to our number two. Pretty good hour number one, you can say, with a great match, that's Steiner Brothers versus Harlem Heat. Go check it out from this episode, guys, if you haven't watched it. And hour number two kicks it off, WCW Cruiserweight Champion 6 versus Chavo Guerrero Jr. Pretty good match again, you can say. But Eddie Guerrero comes up, and he said that he's going to help Chavo, but that story was continuing. If NW actually interferes in this match, but Razor Ramon, I'm seeing, Scott Hall actually hits the Razor's edge on, and while ref was not seeing that, and Eddie Guerrero didn't do it anything. So I guess the family versus family feud may be going into it. So it was good. The story was the point here. The match wasn't the important point here. So I liked it. The TV shows are meant for that. So I liked it the way they actually built this thing. And yeah, something they built it from this. And the match was pretty good, you can say. Yeah, he applies a buzz killer for in the ending for the win, you can say. And Conan versus Steve McMichael, nothing match. Hugh Morris comes up to distract Conan, and Steve McMichael got the victory here. And yeah, that match. And then we had a video package hyping Benoit Sullivan 3 because first he it had a this had a three kind of challenge where he actually gone through Barbarian, then Mink, then finally he's going to Sullivan. And yeah, they've been building the story and been having their matches since one last year or something. Yeah, from 1996 they have been doing this story, and this had some real life rift as well. I don't know about that. And next we got to Gene Okerlund brings out Roddy Piper, and Ric Flair had a segment, and Ric Flair turns on Roddy Piper, and this I wasn't expecting from last week, which I was seeing, which I was watching. I thought they are not gonna do it, but they finally did it, and Ric Flair had turned heel, and he helped the Four Horsemen because Chris Benoit and Steve Marco McMichael, you can say, he comes and poked the bear. You can say he was just blaming him to have a rub on. To get a rub from Ric Flair. So that was the point here. And finally, he listened a lot, Roddy Piper, and Roddy Piper just strikes Chris Benoit. And finally, then Ric Flair actually teams up with Four Horsemen and starts just beating the hell out of Roddy Piper. So finally, he's not his best friend while he was terming in to be him to be. And next we get to, yeah, really great TV, man. I really loved it. And yeah, next we get to Glacier and Ernst Miller's High Voltage. They were hyping up this Ernst Miller box martial arts guy debut, but this just kind of felt like an afterthought after Ric Flair returning. And yeah. The last ending of the top rope that he did that thing, double jump roundhouse kick, and that was cool to look at. Apart from that, yeah, it was nothing, just to catch some eyeballs from the martial art fans, you can say. Then we got Diamond Dallas Page versus Scott Hall as the main event. It didn't actually end into an kind of an obvious NWO thing where NWO comes up and this um, uh, actually hits the faces, and heels look stronger. Not like that. The match was pretty good, you can say, and but they didn't give it all because at the end we saw he signals a diamond Dallas, which signals a diamond cutter. Savage runs in and nails DDP for the DQ. So I like the story here because they were building for the match for the Halloween Havoc again. So yeah, so that was good. And DDP and mystery partner were going to face Scott Hall and I think so. Hall and Savage at the Bash at the Beach pay-per-view. So this was a tag team match that were and a tag team match they were going into, and the beatdown continues. Hall gives DDP a back suplex, and so there was some shenanigans as well in this match. But while it was there, this match was pretty fun to watch. You can say fun main event, better than the Raw main event, man. It was just average, and yeah, and yeah, the story is continuing. Sting comes up, and the Sting actually points out, and then he finally comes down to the ring, and he hits Randy Savage from the when he actually jumped over the top rope with his patented baseball bat by Sting. And then Hall and Savage runs away. So great ending to the very good show, you can say. Really good show, I would say. Good show of Nitro, and really balanced R number one and R number two. And yeah, and they didn't actually close the main event like just a cheap finish or something. So they did this. So for me, Monday Nitro was very good, really good. And WWF Raw was just average, and nothing to. If you want to catch up, just catch up with Flash Wang versus Sabu. That was it. I don't know if you will go to watch that match, but nothing, man. I will see you guys in my next one. I hope you enjoyed my review, guys. Leave a like, share, subscribe, and see you guys with my next episode next week on Monday. Until then, be safe, stay energetic, and peace.